Hey all, Bryden Homes by the Foot and Remax Central Real Estate. Time for the December market update, which I'm basically going to ignore because, like in past years, December is very quiet. The trends are more or less the same, but there's very little action going on. This is going to be more of a look into 2023. Now, as you know, I'm not an economist. I'm not a trained financial analyst, forecaster, any of that. This is simply me giving my opinion, my gut feel based upon a lot of research and what I've experienced myself living here my entire life. So on with the show. Question I get a lot is what happened in January of last year? Why did things take off? It was the perfect storm. Affordability, record low interest rates, and a lot of cash. Where did the cash come from? Well, COVID. During COVID, people were not spending money. We're taking vacations. We're making big purchases. So it's accumulating in various bank accounts, investment accounts. And then beginning of 2022, everything got unleashed. All that cash was put to work in the real estate sector and things were crazy. Wasn't fun for anybody. Multiple offers, no conditions, out-of-town buyers. It was not fun. What we're looking at going forward is going to be slow and steady. Now, the factors that drove that perfect storm, for the most part, are still holding true going forward. Now, I got a lot of this information by doing a lot of research into economic development, Calgary, the city, the chamber, government of Alberta, most of the major banks, various financial analysts and think tanks, Calgary Real Estate Board, Remax, and a few other competitors. Just don't tell Remax I did that. And pretty much everybody's in agreement. What is going to be going on with Alberta and more focused Calgary is good news. We've been hearing a lot about global recession and 20% drops in prices for housing across the country. But if you drive down deeper and look at just Alberta and Calgary specifically, things are looking really, really good. Why is that? Well, there's still pent-up demand. What's driving a lot of that is net migration. Net migration, 22,000 people came here from Ontario, more than went there. So we're up 22 grand just in Ontario, 6,000 with BC and just about the rest of the country. Plus immigration, welcoming new Canadians from various countries. Now, Trudeau has announced migration into Canada will be 500,000 people each of the next 3 years. And Calgary gets about 1 in 8 of those. The population in the city is going to continue to grow. And because Canada, one thing the federal government set up years ago that other countries are trying to emulate is our point system so that the people come are highly skilled, generally training. Just need to find a way of getting to use those skills that they've got, but that's a topic for another day. So they're highly skilled and can fill a lot of the vacancies. Where are the vacancies? The tech sector. Tech sector is booming here. We went from a position of not even on the charts for growth in North American tech hubs to, I think we're in the top 15 now. The green energy sector, huge. Despite Trudeau's just diversify comment last week, a few of the CEOs of some of the major oil and gas companies are embracing that. They say there is going to be an amount of money invested into green tech with the goal of getting to net zero in the next few years is going to be equivalent or near equivalent to all of the money that was invested getting the oil sands up and running to begin with and all of the upgraders, etc. So they're even talking possibly a mini boom, almost along the lines of what we saw in the 80s and 90s. Heady times. The transportation industry is also booming. I was in that industry for decades, and what people don't realize is we are at one of the major crossroads in North America. We've got, in essence, the Alaskan Highway cutting through Calgary. You can go north to Alaska and south to Mexico and Central America and South America, and east-west 16th Avenue, which is now the Stony Trail loop around the city. That intersection of Stony and Highway 2 is one of the most major transportation intersections in North America. So that's where you're seeing a lot of those huge transportation buildings going up. What else? Entertainment. Entertainment is booming. The largest production in Canadian history just took place for the series Last of Us, which is getting rave reviews. Watched it last night. It's really good. Filmed in Alberta. There's a lot of scenes from Calgary. Check it out. Fort Macleod is one of the hubs for it too. Fantastic. Anyway, so there's lots of great stuff coming in the tech industry. I can't repeat that enough. The tech industry is booming by leaps and bounds. That is driving a lot of high-skilled, high-value, high-paying jobs into the city. Now, there's labor shortages elsewhere. That largely because of a lot of people who left various industries during COVID, such as the hospitality industry, restaurants and hotels in particular. So there's labor shortages, jobs out there to be had. Our jobless rate is dropping steadily. So we're actually looking quite good. Wages, which have been flatlined for years. They're now suspecting that we could see up to 3% on average increase in wages each of the next 3 years. That's fantastic news. So, in a nutshell, how is this going to impact us and the real estate? The same things are basically there. We've got the migration, we've got pent-up demand, and affordability. People are coming here because we're one of the most affordable major cities in the Western world. And we're also always ranked in the top 2 or 3 as best places to live. So we've basically got it all. And that's why people are coming here in droves. So that's all there. People are expecting interest rate drops. Not going to happen anytime soon. I expect there's going to be another 0.25% here in the next week or so. Then the government is going to pause to see what the inflation rate is doing, which has been dropping, and I suspect will continue to drop. And if it does so, I think that pause could potentially be permanent, or if there is a tweak upwards, it's going to be very small, unlike the aggressive measures last year. And it worked because things are now a little bit more under control from an inflation standpoint. So anybody who is expecting the interest rates to drop, you're going to be disappointed until they expect 2024. We might start seeing an easing of that if the inflation rate does taper to acceptable levels, which the government has pegged at 2% as a target. So that's inflation rate. Prices. The prices for homes are expected to drop anywhere between 15 and 20% nationwide. However, Alberta and Saskatchewan, not the case. In Greater Calgary, we're looking at price increases anywhere between 2 and 12%. That all depends on the style of home you have, whether it's multifamily or detached. And multifamily, you are doing better. Apartments have taken off. Townhomes are fantastic. The detached segment, the starter level, is still doing well, but the more expensive the home you have, you are going to see some price declines. But that's going to be more than made up for from the multifamily and starter home segment. So we're going to be seeing price increases. That's not going to turn around, I think, for quite a while. The economic fundamentals in this province are much, much too good, and there's a lot of people coming here. So in short, we're doing well. If you live in the outskirts, Airdrie, Cochrane, Okotoks, High River, etc., you're going to be doing even a little bit better than the city of Calgary is. So expect the number of sales to increase. That is going to be largely driven by the number of listings, which was actually, despite the fact we set records last year, held us up because we were selling very rapidly. Days on the market is quite low. So we need more listings to offer more choice to get into the balanced market. So if you want to list, now's the time. There's very little competition out there. If you want to buy, now's the time. Interest rates are more or less flatline. However, there could be a little bit more interest rates hikes coming at you. I don't think many, but get pre-approved. Have you heard that before? So again, if you want to buy, now's the time. If you want to sell, now's the time. Contact information all over the email. That was as short as I could make it. If you got any more questions, I could talk about this for hours. Give me a call, send me a text, smoke signal, whatever works, and we will talk to you guys later.